as long as they're not hurt.
I know. I love watching children fall down. And you don't have to cut that. You can leave that in.
I'm gonna make that the cold open.
Oh, cool.
Hello, everyone. We are the harp moderator team. Most of them. Hopefully, the last person will be joining us. My name is Phrygian44, and we'll be sharing our survey results like this so we can kind of have a dialogue about it.
We were talking about the anti-work controversy from earlier this year, and we kind of agreed none of us want to be perceived that way. So we are in no way, shape, or form like the harpists that have a final say in what the community is. Nor will we go to Fox News for anything ever. So.
And what's your username?
Oh, the name on my birth certificate is Nonsense Word 37.
And I am Love and Torchlight.
And hopefully we'll be having an unofficial overlord joining us shortly. Yeah, so what's just going through question by question, what does everyone think about the different ages of respondents that we have here?
I think the safest thing, I know we were talking before we started recording, it just seems to reflect Reddit as a whole. That 22 to 30 demographic is what uses Reddit. So I'm not surprised by the biggest pie chart chunk, although we have a pretty good mix.
I know.
Yeah, it's nice to see the range of people participating and feeling like they can come to the subreddit, even if they're not the typical Reddit demographic.
Definitely, yes. Shout out to all the people that are 61 plus that responded to this. It is really cool to see.
Heck yeah.
You don't or anything like that?
I think it's nice we have so many relative, like almost a quarter of what we have are youngish people. So college prep, soon to be, or just like teenagers noodling around, which is nice. I think we just have a good mix of ages.
I was saying too, it kind of reflects Reddit as a whole, is mostly that 22 to 30.
Yeah. It occurs to me we didn't do a breakdown by gender, I don't think, which is
we totally should have.
That would have been a good idea.
If Reddit is very male, and I don't think our like harp is very female, so it'd be interesting to see how much that hashed out. We'll just have to do a survey.
Well, yeah, we're mostly Western and like North American, and harp is very female there, but in South America, harp is very male.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah.
We've definitely discovered a couple of things that we like overlooked as we came along. You're like, oh, we should have put this, we should have put that.
Heck yeah. All right.
And location?
Again, probably
not surprising.
Not surprising. This is probably similar to the other one, like totally consistent with just like Reddit demographics altogether. I would guess, I don't know for sure, but lots of Western European countries except for, let me see, I think it was Japan and Singapore.
Okay. This one's pretty mixed bag too.
Yeah, I can't get over how divided this one is.
Pretty evenly, wow. Our biggest are either 11 to 15 or just started.
Yeah, that's such like a funny combination that it's exactly even for the respondents, that they've either been playing 11 to 15 or just started.
I'm hopeful that it makes it the subreddit a nice place for beginners to come for some advice, some hopefully friendly advice.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10.
And
longer than 30 years. Answer? That's great.
What did you guys answer?
I think I was 11 to 15.
Okay, same here.
Yeah, I think this year is my 15th year playing harp, so I'm right on the edge of that.
We're all in there. Yeah, I was just curious. I think unofficial overlord is the only one who's probably longer of the mods. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's serious business.
And then this is like the most diverse. Like, I did not expect it to be that variety of a makeup as far as
it's amazing.
playing.
Yeah, we thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
We pointed out how it's fascinating that there's 16 respondents that's less than 1 year, and exactly 16 respondents that's 11 to 15 years.
Yeah, we should do a buddy system. Pair up.
And unofficial overlord, we've been answering how long we've been playing too.
Oh, yes, I've been let me do this year's 2022. So
Yes.
17.
Okay.
Me.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
Scale.
Facing your skill level. I like how few people place themselves like right in the middle. Like it was either kind of I'm on the more beginner side or
right.
the more advanced side.
It's
There's
true.
probably a name for this type of chart.
Not surprised 7 is up there. That's kind of everybody's usual pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad that we left that one really open-ended. You know, when we all took the survey, we were, testing it out. That was one where I was like, well, I think it's good to be open-ended because you can weigh a lot of factors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just speaking personally, I think a big part of like, I put down 7 and I was like, okay, I think I feel okay about that number. I don't feel amazing about that number, but I feel okay about it because one of the things that I noticed is that a lot of people come to the sub for like arrangements, and I like arrange everything I play, and I was like, okay, I feel like I can include that as a factor because that question's really open-ended.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
did the same thing and had the same thoughts because I will never play on a symphony stage, and that's fine. Like that's just not my thing. So classical proper music like that, I'm probably a -2 if that were not like I can't really do any of that. But I've done at this point 5 weddings. I've gotten good reviews from all of them. So in terms of more modern poppy type music, yeah, I was okay putting a 7. So
yeah,
again,
I hope most people were, I don't know, kind to themselves with that one is what I guess I'm trying to express. There's a
Yeah.
couple of folks that put 1, and I think those must be our brand new beginners.
Yeah, people that just started.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Like for me, I put myself as a 7 too, but just what you said, nonsense that like there's such a huge gap between like my putting myself as a 7 versus like what someone would be as a 10, like playing at symphonies, playing like the most advanced
Right.
repertoire. But I
Right.
guess like functionally like a 7 based on all of the harpists out there
Yeah.
that could be brand new beginners, but
Yeah.
it's tricky.
I would think look at like what are your final goals with harp and where are you on the way to that goal is a good way to
Yeah,
look.
that's a
And
good
that's why I'm
perspective.
glad we just didn't do beginner, intermediate, advanced, because I'm sure
Yeah.
90% of us would have put intermediate, and that's fair,
Yeah.
Yep.
It would have
And
been like a huge
although
amount of
there
beginner.
was like, I did love the sort of collective existential crisis we had in the mod chat of like, oh my God, we had to like rate ourselves. We're asking everybody to do this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's gonna freak
True.
everyone out, like right off the bat.
I'm gonna go all mathy on you guys, but this is the perfect bimodal distribution.
Oh, that's the word I was looking for. I said I know that there's a word for it. That's it. Wow.
You are correct. It is.
Yeah. Almost like, and if it's 16 and 16, like a true bimodal, they're the same level. That's wow, I'm geeking out. That's cool.
We're not surprised 7 and 3 were kind of because they're sort of in the middle, like, well, I'm not a super beginner, but I'm not quite intermediate, so a 3. And then like I'm definitely past intermediate, but I'm not advanced, so a 7.
Yeah, well, and so much of like how you feel about your skill level is how you're exposed to like other harpists.
Exactly.
If you like if your only exposure is YouTube and you stay in like the beginning harp world on YouTube, you can kind of assume that you're really advanced. And then if you go to college or you've been to college and seen experts in symphonies, then you're like, I can't play at all. What is this?
Yeah, I think I've expressed to nonsense that it's like difficult for a harpist to if someone plays guitar, there's a million other guitarists that they can compare themselves to, but it's hard with harp.
Yeah.
You just don't
and
have
then
that.
the big divide between like I mean, I can't play any South American style pieces, so by that metric, I'm nothing. But like the difference between difficulty in pedal and lever harp is also very there's quite the learning curve between those two. I'll say that.
Most difficult piece you can play.
We are so harpy. All of these, I can't decide. I don't remember. I love it so much. It depends. Oh, the first arabesque is hard.
Yeah, we were relying on you to dissect some of the classical things on the
Oh,
list.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the Glinka Nocturne has the fourth page is the most nonsensical page I've ever. You cannot predict any of the notes, so it's impossible to tell if you're playing it wrong because they feel like they're random, and it's arpeggios, fast arpeggios jumping in either hand. So and then my cat just woke up. He's like, "Stop it! I don't want to be more." So yeah, that's
that
a great
too.
one.
We all have cats. We all have cats. We were talking about
Yeah.
Yeah, I grabbed my cat at one point.
Chanson dans la nuit. I haven't played that one, but that is definitely a classic. I don't play a ton of Zalzada. But it's a pretty standard harp piece. I avoided learning lots of the standards because I'm a rebel.
Now, Arrival of the Queen of Sheba is pretty difficult, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that arrangement, but that one's tricky. Fantasy by Song, yeah. The Moldau. Who put the Moldau? Because like you should be a mod because I can barely listen to it and not like lose my. It has. If you guys haven't listened to it, it has the most. It's based off a symphonic piece. It's like 12 pages or something, but it has the melody sounds like it should be out of a high fantasy movie. It's gorgeous.
We have a lot of adult starters. That's cool.
Yeah, that's interesting too.
I'm curious, just for the mod info, like when did you guys start?
I was 17. Well, 16. You guys?
Yeah, I think I was like 16 or 17.
Okay. So about the same, yeah.
Yeah, I was 14.
Oh wow.
But I love that there's a lot of like adult learners. I teach in my like professional life. I teach some classes, not harp, something else related to my actual 9 to 5. I won't give away too much on that one, but I often run across this really interesting phenomenon where a lot of the adults that I teach are like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, almost afraid or like put off or intimidated of like being a beginner and like making necessary mistakes in order to get better. And they have this kind of emotional reaction to that. And I notice that it's often people that are usually in like really high pressure fields. But so every time when I see adults that are like actively taking the time to try something new, learn new things, I always have a lot of like respect for it because it is super hard. And you're just not used to feeling like a beginner when you're an adult.
I love that. I never thought about that. That's super cool. Yeah, shout out to all the adult learners and putting yourself in a position where you're not an expert.
I also think too, when people pick a hobby or an instrument when they're an adult and they're not like forced into it as a kid, or I shouldn't say forced, but like parent chosen, usually when they're real little, it makes a huge difference in how interested you are,
Yes, yeah, it does. And I've noticed too in a lot of adult learners, I don't teach harp, but I see it in a lot of like adults that I know that are learning harp. They've had like a bad music teacher before and it like ruined it and they have to come back to it. I see that a lot too. Where they like they wanted to play one thing and their parents were like, no, you have to play piano or you have to play this thing, and then they did that for years and it like ruined music for them entirely, and then they come back to harp and they are really enjoying it. Your idea of an adult beginner, just asking adult beginners about their experience, is a really good one.
Yeah, I think it would be
like make another survey for that.
Or not another survey,
or
but
just
maybe
put
just a
post a
thread.
thread. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Cool.
It can
And there's a
almost
lot
function
of
like a support group.
I remember that Unofficial Overlord had asked for that, if you scroll back to the pie chart, had asked for that option of I wanted to learn as a child or teen but couldn't. She had asked for that to be included. It's interesting to see. It's a little
That's
slice, but
Like what
I mean,
inspired you
I
to
know lots of people who had a semi-supportive mom and not a supportive father, and that caused problems. And I've heard from people who were, I wanted to learn as a kid, but there was no harpist nearby. So, for example, the professor at the University of Utah, which is a very well-established harp program, she wanted to learn harp as a teenager, but the only harpist in the area wouldn't take students. So such a funny story. She entered as a STEM major. She was like respiration therapy or something, and just never declared her major. And so she would, because they wouldn't let her double major in music and that, so she never declared her major. And whenever the professors be like, "Oh, you're not a music major," she's like, "Oh, I am. I just haven't declared. And I just haven't done the paperwork." And she gaslit everybody for 4 years and ended up with a double major. She just kept telling them that she hadn't done the paperwork, and they just kept letting her take the classes. So
wow,
she
that's so
went
amazing.
to do a harp degree after only having piano up until 18, and managed to, she was passionate enough that she learned it, and now she has her PhD. And yeah, she actually did her
That's a crazy story.
degree in respiratory therapy at the University of Utah while doing her PhD in harp at the University of Arizona. She flew back and forth twice a week.
Oh my goodness.
That sounds like an
She's an insane woman.
okay.
All right. I play these types of harps.
Mostly lap and lever. I guess I shouldn't. That makes sense.
Yeah, some of us don't have a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, it's a good starter too. Like if you're not sure you want to do it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people that are just more interested in playing folk music and don't care to get a pedal harp in that respect.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so for myself, I put lever harp and pedal harp. I might have answered lap harp too, just because I have one, but I'm not really like a lap harp player.
So I put down Irish harp, wire strung harp, because I have a Jay Witcher wire harp that I love and play. South American harp, because that was my sort of first love with harp music. And I have the single answer for guzheng.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That is cool. I was seeing the Romanesque Gothic as well in medieval. That's really neat. I wonder who put that. I guess if it was you who put the medieval, send a photo to the mod group. I'm really curious, or share it online. Yeah. And I'm boringly pedal, by the way.
Oh, do you have?
I thought that the number of people that sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I thought the number of people that had electric harps, I thought that would be lower than it is on
That's
there.
surprising. Yeah,
that's a lot really of people.
Yeah.
I know, like for me, I answered actually, come to think of it, yes for that too, and it's because I have a harpsichord that is electric acoustic. I wonder if people have a similar situation, because I think harpsichord is like a big starter.
Or if someone's added a pickup, they might count that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fun fact, I learned on pedal, and I've only ever known pedals. I've really never touched levers beyond owning a harpsichord for the sake of a small college dorm for a couple of years.
Yeah,
but
that's
I was
unusual.
never any
That's cool.
I'm no good at levers. I'm not good at them. So
people rag on harpsichords for like a number of reasons, but oh man, stuff like college dorms, they're perfect for that.
Yeah.
Travel too. I have in my Zoom picture, I have a green harpsichord that I don't actually own, but it was like the only thing I could take with me.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly. It can't fit a pedal harp on a plane that easily, so
no.
Harpsichords are great at what they do. They don't presume to be anything else.
I am loving how many makers there are.
I
by the way.
know.
I know.
This is my favorite.
I want to put out there that I apologize to anyone that I didn't include like a major maker. I was just trying to kind of like stack the deck of different ones that I thought people would likely pick, but expecting a lot of people to like fill in different kinds. It's such a huge list.
Okay.
But yeah.
Jeez.
So
What-
yeah, I see a lot of smaller US makers. I see like Thormalin, which is in Oregon. I see Marini made harps. I think they're out in Philadelphia. I see, is there a triplet on there? Yeah, triplets on there. They're
Yeah,
in
triplets one of them.
in
The only
California.
zero was resonance. Don't know that one.
That was the one that Unofficial Overlord said that we should add because it's a Russian brand.
Oh,
yeah,
Sort
yeah,
of like
okay.
a Aoyama is to Japan. I had never heard of
Got
that.
it. Okay. I'd be interested to go back and see if we have any Russians on this, like that took the survey.
Yeah.
But we can do that later. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that I don't remember that being on there. We had like Croatia, like Eastern Europe, but not Russia.
More dusty strings than harpsichord. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
what do you think about Lion and Healy being the number one?
Not a surprise.
Yeah, not
Nah.
surprising at all.
No.
Have you guys ever done their factory tour?
Yes. It was amazing. It was
so
amazing. Oh,
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Where are they? Chicago?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, for anybody
Mhm.
that ends up listening to this and is like, is it worth it if I'm in Chicago? It's totally, it's a great
Oh,
time.
100%.
Mhm.
And I will say they're closed on weekends. I was lucky enough to be there. My last day of that vacation was a Monday, and so we went over it. They're not really doing the tours post COVID, like into the actual workhouse, but like the showroom where you can try every single type, like you can try whichever harps you want. 100% worth it.
Yeah.
I think there's more money in that room than like anywhere I've ever been. So
Yeah,
Well,
seriously.
and they've got a great selection of music too. So you can like, they'll wheel in a harp for
that's
you into
cool.
a practice room, and then you can just pick out any of the music in the
Oh my
store to like
goodness.
try. It's
I
so
would spend
fun.
so much time in that place. It's like a wow. Dreamland.
it's like Willy Wonka for us for sure.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Even as someone that doesn't play pedal harp, I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Mhm.
Did you try one when you were there?
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Okay, nice.
why? Like, who goes to the Lion and Healy factory and is like, I don't think I'll try a pedal harp.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm sure even
Okay.
non-harpists would go and try.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Although I
not
think they only offer the tour if you like say that you play the harp. I don't think they offer it to people
Oh,
that don't.
okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
and I think it'd be opposite. You get a tour, but no showroom if you don't play.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. No, you might be right. I did it.
I have
oh,
no
wow,
idea.
literally 10 years ago was when I went there at this point.
Okay.
So
Now when I was there earlier this year, I mean, it sounds like it's open to anybody that like as long as you're like respectful, you know. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. I'm not surprised that most of us own one. Harps are expensive.
Yeah.
I
have to
think
say
that's
as
the
one
pedal
of-
harpists. I think the lever
Yes.
harpists tend to have a couple of them.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
could
like
be.
people who have 5 or more, it's 10% a lot. That's definitely levers.
I'm in
I
that.
would guess
I'm in
that,
that pie slice.
The 5 or more.
You
Yeah.
are? Oh,
I
sorry.
am too, yeah. But
Okay.
I bet a lot of beginners only have one harp too. If I were to
Yeah.
venture.
True. Yeah, I own one. So
There's only one person that doesn't own one but rents one.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that.
That's so weird.
was
I
that
feel
an
like-
I thought a lot
optional?
more.
Was that is that somebody that added their own answer or no? Doesn't look like it.
I don't think so.
No, that
And
was that
it's
was one
so
of the
strange.
options.
Yeah, I feel like when you go on the subreddit, a lot of people are asking like, what's the best way for a beginner to start? And so many people say rent, because then you'll know what you like. And then only one person actually did it.
I'm kind of wondering.
Only one
if
person
people just-
responded.
I wonder if people just clicked it and weren't paying attention.
Mhm.
It happens, guys. No worries.
I have to say as well as like a caution to any of the people that have one harp. As someone that has 5 or more harps, you just kind of accumulate harps. It's just gonna happen. Like someone like gave me 2 harps the other day. I was like, oh yeah, I'll take
you
them,
just
sure.
get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 2 pedal harps in my apartment a few years ago for a hot minute. That was a very intense couple weeks until I could return the other one.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. Mostly
For me,
hobbyists.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice
It is a
hobby.
nice hobby, guys. It's really nice.
It is one of the nicest of hobbies.
What did you guys select?
I don't remember. I might have put semi-professional or yeah, I think I did semi-professional since I'm a music therapist.
Okay.
You know, I think I chose mostly a hobby, but I'm sort of borderline between mostly a hobby and semi-professional.
I was kind of feeling the same way because for me personally, I'm starting to put myself out there for weddings. And I've started making bookings. So it is more of a moneymaker now, but yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
With you. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, mine is sort of weird because I have 1 gig a week that's like a recurring thing. It's every week. And it's community run, but it used to be run by just one guy. It's a community dance, traditional dance. And like when that changeover happened from being community run or from being just one guy to being community run, the musicians started getting paid. But I've been doing it longer than that. So I think of it as like a gig where I don't earn any money, but I actually do earn money from it. And it happens every week, which is kind of nice.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. So nice having a consistent thing like that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cool.
Whoa, we got a lot of extra answers. That's really cool.
Oh, and we got some, I like the little purple slice in that pie that says, I haven't reached that level yet, but I aspire to be semi-professional or professional. I like that.
Best of luck, everyone that's aspiring.
Everybody.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be overnight either.
Yeah, definitely a piecemeal thing.
Okay.
I play or have played these types of performance opportunities. I want to put out there that ideally I should have put an option that's like I don't do performances, but only like 63 people answered out of 106 respondents. So I sort of assume anyone that didn't answer would put down like that they don't do any performance opportunities.
Got it. Yeah, we have a couple nuns down there, so
yeah,
that's okay. We'll know for next year if we do another survey.
Yeah,
okay.
But
yeah, background
what are
music.
your impressions of this?
Background music being the biggest is a surprise. I would have thought it'd be just busking or weddings. Yeah.
I would have thought it would be weddings. Busking can be kind of hard to like find a good spot and not get hassled about it.
Yeah. I love doing background. Like I don't want to be center of attention personally, you know. I'd rather be in the background, but I haven't really found a good option in my area for that yet. I'd like to though.
Yeah. My favorite part of any wedding performance is playing at the cocktail hour compared to the ceremony where you can just noodle.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 10 people, someone who does an Irish session every week. There's 10 people that do it. And gosh, where are you? Not where I live.
Yeah.
There's no Irish sessions around
caught
here?
my eye. That's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, we had a thread about that, about yoga harp.
That'd be neat.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think it'd be so fun to do yoga while someone's playing the harp. I think that'd be so nice.
That would be so nice. I would be so calm after that. Sounds wonderful.
We got one TikToker.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
I'm dating myself by putting the question recorded songs for YouTube.
But I think that works for the demographic.
It does, that's true.
Hey, I got a YouTube channel and I've said it before, it'd be my nightmare to go viral. Like, no, thank you. But it is a good place to like catalog everything I can play and send it to somebody interested, you know?
Yeah, it's one thing to have sort of an online portfolio like that. And it's another to like to go viral.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
find my channel, like I'm not doing it up with fancy videos and costumes. It really is just like my living room wall and me sitting there playing.
Mhm.
So yes, it's definitely a going viral if you want to is a challenge for sure.
And
But that's so great.
sort of a related anecdote, the wedding that my partner and I are planning coming up, the couple said, "Oh, we Googled you and we found your website and we found like the music on your website." My partner was like, "Really?" Because because the website is like 90% his research and then one little tab that says music.
They
And they
must have
had to
really dug.
slog through
Appreciate that.
all of his research for the little bit of music on there.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I think sort of the through line with all of this is that there's no shortage of opportunities for people to play in public if they want to. And because we have so many beginners, I think it's good for them to see this list of like all the places you could go and play, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, certainly giving people ideas.
All right, harp is therapeutic music. Region, you go ahead and take this one. This is your area of expertise.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess the thing that strikes me most about this, I am the only music therapist, which I'm not surprised about because there's not many music therapists that play the harp. I've never met another one in life. It's interesting how many people like want to pursue it, in answering the question, like they don't do it, but they're interested in it as the second biggest chunk there. It makes me think that like an idea for the subreddit would be like having an AMA with someone that runs a therapeutic harp program or something like that.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of people, but yeah, maybe something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this was one
Yeah.
where I had to suggest I am not interested.
Yeah.
Since you wrote the survey.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean that makes sense. Definitely for
Yeah.
the largest margin there, but
Yeah, I was friends with a girl in college who was studying it, and I forget what she played. It wasn't harp, but whew, kudos, because like it seemed like constant, just theory, 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 theory. You know, yeah.
I've
Yeah,
heard a
you'd be
lot of like
surprised.
scary situations too.
Mhm.
Like people kind of like being bedside harpists, but getting put in situations where it's like a person is like actively dying or something like that, like really dramatic. Um, and yeah, so I can imagine that idea would deter people.
Sure. This was a pretty split answer as well. Teaching questions.
Yeah, this is
Most
another one
of
where
us,
I'm curious
Mhm.
about the three of us and how we fit into this.
yeah. Real quick though, I will say that 21% I think just lines up with the new players, which it's great to hear everyone's getting teachers. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it was 7 to 8 years for me.
Okay.
Just because of like, I think I got lessons for about, oh, you know what? I might have done 5 to 6 actually, now that I'm thinking on it. So I got lessons for 2 years before college and then the 4 years of college.
Okay.
So I think that put it at the 5 to 6. How about you?
Yeah, I think I fall into 7 to 8. So what happened with me is that I started with a teacher who is very eclectic, and one of the unique things about this particular teacher that I haven't seen from other harp teachers is like all of her students end up playing totally different styles of music. Like she's got
Oh,
a
that's
student
cool.
who's like now really one of her students is now playing like Brazilian music on pedal harp, and like other ones are playing contemporary music. She's got a student that became a harp player in a metal band local to here. And so when I first started going there, I was like, I really want to learn Latin harp. And she was like, okay, because she plays a bunch of Latin harp. And so did that. And then there was a point I started getting into Irish session playing. And there was a point at which she was like, well, I don't really go to that many sessions and I don't really know what goes on there. So I think, it's probably like you can kind of take it from here. But as I've told you guys, like obviously she's still around in my life.
Yeah. It's amazing that she like could set up her students to be able to play that many genres.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I've never seen it from any other harp teacher, and she's very encouraging of like taking people where they want to go. Like one of her students who is still in the area, which I think this endeavor is a little much for me. Like I would never try this, but she's playing classical music on lever harp now.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
But I think that it sounds so cool. And I think that it's partially because like the historical pedal harps would have been a lot lower tension than the pedal harps that are around today. Kind of closer to the high tension lever harps, you know, not the super high tension ones like Lion and Healy that are like basically trying to be concert tension. But so it sounds really light and beautiful. And it's a cool endeavor, but oh man, I don't think I could ever do that.
That's cool.
Yeah, gosh. Just the command of levers that you have to have.
I think that you brought up something really important too, which is the importance of your teacher knowing your goals. You know, there might be some people who just want to be able to play their own compositions or accompany themselves while they sing, and they don't need 7 or 8 years of lessons. They need 3 to 4 years of lessons, you know. It's just really important to find that fit.
Yep.
I think as we mentioned before, like the people that have really bad experiences in music lessons, I think it would be pretty common that those would be like teachers that make them do things that they don't want to do. Like if someone's taking piano lessons and they want to play rock and roll, but their teacher's making them play classical or whatever. Like it's a great virtue in a teacher if they're able to guide their student in whatever the student wants to pursue.
Yeah.
There's just so many ways that so many forms that music can take. But yeah.
All right.
Moving on.
Not much to say here.
Yeah.
Most of us did not study it, and that's fine. Not too
I wish we had included one, you know, because I saw that slice up and then a couple graphs back of like people that aspire to be professional. We should have had like a sort of an intermediate. Oh, I've not gone to college or university yet, but I'd like to.
Yeah. Someone actually commented on one of the reminder posts about it that like they're applying to college and university, but they haven't gotten in yet. So I give that person a shout out as well as others that
yeah, for sure,
would be in a similar situation. Yeah, we definitely should have.
Whoa.
Style. So most people, this question does not mean anything to me. Otherwise very divided.
Wow. Yeah.
I wouldn't have known how to answer this question until I started preparing to go to college for music, because it was like
I
that
asked
point
my teacher what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Salzedo rang the biggest bell for me, and I double checked, and that was me. Yeah. But
so you do Salcedo style?
Pretty much. I mean, there is one where like your wrists are flatter or something, but I'm not sure. I'm not the person to ask about this, so yeah.
How did you answer this Torchlight?
I think I am the person that put more than one option because I did sort of switch the type of harp that I play. Most people don't know this, and harp is the national instrument of Ireland and Paraguay. So I feel like
that's cool.
There is a through line, even though it was a dramatic switch in genres.
Yeah.
Was this one that they could add their own answer?
Yes.
Yes. So that's what a lot of the little slits are. So it's
okay, got it.
Let me scroll down here so people can see too.
Because pop, I'm wondering what they mean by pop.
Somewhere between salted and Ursh.
Okay. Was that you?
No, that was not me. But I think someone's fingers and their autocorrect got away from them.
Okay.
Shout out to whoever did that because I've been there.
Fair. Okay, I think they maybe meant genre. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, Irish being number one. Thoughts, opinions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that fits.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm happy to see a couple people join me on Andean harp in that.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a super, super cool tradition. I really hope that more people get interested in it. They have some neat, like the harps themselves can be pretty neat because some of them have wire strings in the treble and then like gut in the bass, and they just sound super cool. So
I like
Lots of
I see harp
answers.
books, I buy harp
Mhm.
books. I feel it. I've spent way too much on some stuff for sure. Yeah.
Gosh, I
Another
love
one.
the range of answers though. There's so many.
Yeah, I was gonna say another
There's-
one where just so many
Mhm.
things we didn't even think about.
Yeah, klezmer is cool.
Which again, coming
Klezmer.
back, we are not the representatives of the harp
Mhm.
community by any means. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to put out there that with the answers that I put in, I was just trying to get like the most numbers that I thought people would say. But yeah, certainly acknowledging like, especially for
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
different European countries, and yeah.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up. You still had a really good list, if I say so myself, for sure.
It's interesting seeing how many people would put down things like Dutch folk or South German or like Southern Italian, like all these
Well,
different areas that
I'm
have such
hopeful
strong
that
musical identities.
Yeah, I'm hopeful
Mhm.
that that means that they're playing the traditional music of maybe where they're from.
Yeah.
Because we did have a decent amount of Western European folks in the location breakdown. So like I saw someone in their like most difficult piece. There was one that had like a Swedish name. And so I think I'm hopeful that it's people that are listening to the music around them and playing it on the harp.
Yeah, probably. I would imagine. It's cool.
Video game music.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's awesome.
I wonder if that's the same person that put down like Undertale as their most difficult piece they can play.
Possibly.
Mhm. Do you
Well,
consider harp to be your main instrument?
I'm
Yeah,
surprised by this one. I honestly, you would think more people came to it from piano or just trying, especially with how many newbies we have, you know? I would have thought it'd be
Yeah.
more split even or even leaning towards no.
Yeah, like just based on what you say, I want to like harp was not my first instrument, but it kind of became my main instrument. I
Oh,
wouldn't be surprised if there's people out there that would like are technically better at the piano, but still consider harp their main instrument because it's like some sort of intangible thing.
that's a good point.
But I'm
Yeah, no,
probably like better at drums or guitar than harp, but I
Mhm.
still say that harp is my main instrument.
Yeah, I played trumpet as a kid.
Mhm.
And through senior year of high school, and like I liked marching band. You know, I just never wanted to practice because I didn't really like trumpet itself all too much. And now I like now that I what a weird switch, but I haven't looked back. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that I think I personally know very few people who started with harp as their first instrument, right?
Right.
And so it's like a really kind of personal philosophical question of like when do you make that switch to have it feel like your main instrument? Because I didn't start with harp. I started with sort of a weird one, but
Instruments I play
Besides. Oh
besides
no,
harp.
I only play harp.
I apologize once again to all the singers. Like I definitely should have just put that. I was just thinking about physical instruments, but yeah, lots of
Yeah.
people that sing too.
and I think nonsense word this backs up your theory about people coming over from piano or guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely most common.
Surprising
Yeah.
amount of woodwinds though.
And 2 theremin players.
Yeah. Interesting. Cora and Oud is an interesting one as well. I'm not really surprised to see Cora, as some people put that in a similar basket. Oud is like a Middle Eastern, like a sort of gourd shaped
That's cool.
guitar type instrument. Chromatic kalimba.
I sort of thought we'd see more percussion because I sort of feel like the harp is like almost like melodic percussion. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's only 10.
Yeah, not too many. And I'm curious if those people are like drum set players or if they play like hand drums, or you could get even more specific about that. But, yeah, interesting list. Yeah, so these these are the first of questions that people got directed to if they answered that they don't play the harp. So it's about like
Yes.
why they're subscribed.
Mhm.
It's nice all the people that say that they just like it because they enjoy harp music.
Yeah.
As one of the options.
Yeah, for the folks that don't play now but want to someday, is the best time to start something is 10 years ago, and the second best time is today. So go for it.
Yeah.
And to
Absolutely.
our lone composer, Danielle Kuntz on Instagram is your person. She does like a whole workshop for composers interested in learning how to compose for harp.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
great resource.
Yeah, I forget who recommended her page to me, or if I just found it on the harp Instagram universe, but I mean it's awesome. Yeah. She seems really like a good resource. So
I'm curious as to whether either of you do any composing.
heck no. I'm terrible at all of that stuff. Terrible. So
I used to
not
actually.
me.
I took a composition lessons privately throughout college. I was always really into composing.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of fell out of the game a bit. I really want to get back into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How about you, Torchlight?
I am not a composer. I am definitely an arranger, and there's some sort of weird thing where like I don't even really know what the gap is between the two. You know what I mean? But I arrange like everything that I play, but for some reason it doesn't appeal to me. I don't
funny,
know.
like for me, it's like it's interesting to hear that because for me it's so the opposite. That like whenever I try to arrange something, I start arranging it, and then I immediately like oh wait, I kind of want this to happen instead, and then it becomes like a different piece of music. Like I just cannot arrange something. I always end up composing in the end.
And that's so funny. We're opposites.
Yeah, it's interesting. But
Kudos to you both. Seriously. I mean, I'm trash at all of it.
you should
I
try
get
it
my
sometime, just for
arrangement.
fun.
I'll be the first to admit I don't have a solid enough theory background for that. And not because of my teacher. She loves that stuff. It's me really just having studied something else completely and not really putting that time in. But you can cut all this. I just know that's not my thing. So okay. Cost is not a surprise.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Even level harps are a couple grand for a decent one.
I for the person that has like ADHD, I don't know like the nature of how this presents for you. I want to put out there that like it like I certainly sympathize, and I'm sure that you could learn it, and like doing things like practicing in shorter bursts or practicing wide varieties of pieces, improvising, things like that. Like I can imagine that like with ADHD, sitting down and trying to learn like a real heavy classical piece would be very hard, but other methods could work out.
That's why it's good that Irish trad tunes are like 30 seconds of actual music that you just have enough repeats to make into an actual tune.
Yeah.
It's an ADHD friendly way of play as someone who is I also think that having maintenance on there is sort of interesting. I feel like maintenance is more accessible than people think with at least lever harp.
Yeah, that's true. And I think there's certain things like people might say that you have to change all the strings in X amount of time, but you don't like really have to a lot of the time. And it's just like, and certainly the tone would degrade, but just things like that, like that you can make a judgment call about what maintenance tasks you have to do versus what you have within your ability to do.
But you know, cost. That's a real barrier, and that's an unfortunate barrier for the people that want to play but can't. I mean, that was my barrier for a long time. So
yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. So this is just listen. What styles non-harpists listen to? It's interesting that on here The largest one is classical music that's been arranged for the harp. But a pretty good diversity. It's cool that people listen to like Paraguayan and Jalisco and everything.
Jalisco.
Jalisco, I'm sorry. That's
All good.
that's my knowledge.
All good.
I should have known that.
I feel like I don't actually listen to it as often as I did when I was like considering starting. Is that weird?
No, that's not weird at all. You figure out what you
Okay.
like when you start playing, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's not even that. It's just I'll really only listen if I'm working on the same arrangement somebody else has and I want to hear how they did it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or you know, just in the background. Honestly, I'll put on Amy Turf once in a while. She's awesome.
Oh
So,
yeah, definitely.
yeah. So
I think for me it's hard to actually like listen to and enjoy harp music because I'm kind of thinking about it as a harpist. Like
analyzing. Yep.
yeah, analyzing it.
Oh yeah. I
Mhm.
think that's what it comes down to. Or just feeling bad about myself. Like there's no way I could ever do that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a little bit of that for me too, I will say.
Mhm.
Okay, so these are the people then that don't play. What else do they play?
Mhm.
Mostly
Yeah,
piano.
so a decent amount of musicians out of the people that responded.
A lot of piano and guitar again.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not
What did
familiar
you
with the
put down?
couple.
It looks like it's a Latvian folk instrument.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, string instrument.
Hmm.
Kind of looks like a lap harp or an auto harp, but without the
Oh, that's
chord
cool.
buttons.
Huh.
So I
Very
guess
cool.
it's
I'll
a
have to look that
zither.
up.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
And favorite ice cream flavor for non-harpists. Yeah, looks like
That's
a pretty
really
cool list.
like we
Mint
gotta
chocolate is
cancel
in the
rum and
lead.
raisin already.
Yeah, mint chocolate, number one. I kind of wanted
Well, no,
if we got
actually,
enough responses.
vanilla is. Hold on, no, vanilla's in the lead.
Oh, vanilla got the most. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Strawberry. Yeah, basic
People are
vanilla.
gonna hate us for taking this long to talk about this.
Should we go down to the final section here, the open-ended questions
Yes.
for
Mhm.
the harpists?
We're back to harp players, yeah?
Yes, yes. So these are harp
Okay.
players answering. Who are your favorite harp composers and arrangers?
Is trad traditional or something?
Yes,
I think that's
that'd be
traditional. Yeah.
traditional.
So
Susan
anything
Trad.
like okay, so got it. Sylvia Woods, I'm not surprised to see her name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I've always thought I have a lot of her stuff, but it's really notey. Like you don't need that many chords every single time. I cut it down when I play.
Yeah, I have to say about Sylvia Woods that like I don't love her arrangements, but I own like probably about 15 of her
Yeah.
books. Like she's just like such an entity.
Yeah.
Like I have to like give credit her for that for sure.
Yeah, her
Mhm.
big blue like hymns and wedding music book I got for like $5 on resale, so can't pass
Mhm.
that up. I actually talked to her on the phone once.
Oh, you
I
did?
back when I was like starting, I ordered like five of her things, and then I accidentally hit one as a PDF and the rest is like actual book. And she
Hmm.
literally called me and she's like, "Did you mean to do that?" And I was like, "No."
Wow. That's so cool.
Hi. Like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to you. So she corrected that in the order. But that was a cool like start moment. So
That's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and very nice of her too.
Mhm.
Yep, there's Amy Turk, Christy Lee.
I like how many people um put Bernard Andre. He's one of my favorites too. His stuff is just like
Mhm.
jazzy and unique and
Mhm.
definitely has a style. But yeah, cool list.
Yeah. I like the person who said myself.
Yeah. More
Mhm.
power to them. That's
Yeah.
great.
Love the confidence, and I'm not being sarcastic. I
Mhm.
genuinely do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad this is one person that kept saying it's difficult to pick favorites and like every single question is a favorite. So I'm sorry to this person for what we put them
Mhm.
through. Maeve Gilchrist, Rachel Hare. Not so cool Irish harpists.
Although
My
Rachel
favorite-
Harris from
Or Scottish.
they're
Scottish harpists.
neither of them are Irish.
Yeah, neither of them are
Ra-
Irish. Scottish harpists.
Rachel Hare is from the Isle of Man. She's Manx,
Oh,
actually.
she is. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite harp composition or arrangement? Africa by Toto, Amy Turk.
Mhm.
I think that this one was hard for people to answer because you see there's 46 responses
Yeah.
Yeah.
out of the like 106 that we got. People don't want to pick a favorite, and I cannot blame them. I didn't pick a favorite.
I know. I always like take questions like that as maybe not absolute favorite, but just like anything that comes to mind in the top category.
Yeah.
Mm.
Can't go wrong with Canon and D. I agree there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Fairy Fountain's really goddamn hard. Kudos to whoever said that.
Yeah, that must be really hard.
I have an arrangement that again my teacher made, but I just have not gotten around to learning it yet. It's hard. It's really hard.
I bet a Norwegian wood sounds cool on harp too.
Again, my own. I like it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. They are,
But yeah, it's a cool list, and it's another cool blend of like a classical harp repertoire, and also just like pop music, into Irish music and Scottish music and everything. It's cool to see. Airlands, welcome. Great piece.
I saw my least favorite harp piece on the list of someone else's favorites.
Oh,
Which one?
What is it?
Not to talk too much shit, but looking at a rainbow through a dirty window has made the rounds of like the Scottish Irish trad like workshops, and it is just so saccharine. I cannot stand it.
It's so what?
Saccharine.
Okay.
Like overly sweet, yeah.
It's schmaltzy and just you know, it's the sort of thing that like it was originally composed for flute, and then when you put it on harp, you don't get the sustain, which is the nice part about it, and then it just sounds like ugh. I just hate it.
Got it.
I actually heard Rachel Hare play it at a Somerset Harp Fest. And
yeah, she's great. I just hate the tune.
Yeah. I don't have any memory of it. It must not have made a great impression on me because it's just like a black hole in my memory. I don't know.
Oh man. There's the Moldau. I see. I don't know if you're there yet on your screen.
Oh yeah.
Surprised to see that one. If it's as hard as everyone claims, I'm surprised to see it. But...
I'm only sort of guessing how difficult it is. It's just a lot of notes, just constant.
Okay. So favorite songbooks. I think I left this one blank. Or if I answer, for me, I don't remember what I answered.
Yeah, this is another one that got very few responses.
Yeah, actually, I see my answer. It's what I just said on the actual phone here. It's Sylvia Woods is super notey, but when you simplify her arrangement, she's a good arranger. So.
Yeah, that's a good good interpretation.
I think Sylvia Woods is dominating this answer for sure.
And Bernard Andre again, like all these great Bernard Andre books, which I'm so happy about because I like him. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, Muse Score and the sheet music online. All good resources.
There is so much sheet music online that's free that you can just barely even it is. I am someone, even though I don't use songbooks, I think if you are the kind of person that uses songbooks, it is good to have harp specific ones, but you don't really, if you are one of the people where like cost is an issue and is a barrier, you don't really need them, you can just find stuff online.
I'm always
there's everything.
Yeah, I'm always an advocate for harpists developing the skill of realizing music from a lead sheet, because that just opens you up so much, and you can find like every Irish tune as a lead sheet for free online. Yeah.
Yeah, although
it's
I
just,
tend to hate the chords that come with those. The
oh
chords are
yeah,
like
they could
not
be wrong.
interesting.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
That's another skill set too, doing cool harmonizations of it, but it's a lot of work for great benefit.
Oh, exercise books.
Maybe exercise books.
Ooh.
Pizzoli etudes. Pizzoli.
Now that is one, even though I don't use songbooks, I am a big proponent of exercise books.
Have I ever told you all that I have a signed copy of Deborah Frio Exercises for Speed and Agility?
What?
I was doing an early music camp, and there was like a group of like 5 harpists there, and some people were doing like introductions, and someone said like, "Oh, my name is Deborah Frio." I was like, "What?" And she was there to sing, like she was totally like anonymous as a harpist, but I was like, "Could you sign my exercise book?"
Oh, that's
And she did.
great.
Yeah, I had it with me, so.
Yeah, that is a really excellent exercise book.
That's really
It
cool.
is.
That's
Yeah,
really
very
cool.
She was nice.
I feel like that's a big autograph in the harp world, and anyone else would be like, who?
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, there's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that. That's funny.
I wonder how often she gets people asking her for her autograph. um,
I think that one's coming up the most of all the ones that I've seen.
yeah, I think so.
I'm surprised that my
another
other
one.
favorite is not on there more. I'm kind of sad about that.
Which is your other one?
I like Harp for Today by Linda Wood Rollo.
Okay. I don't know if I know that one.
Yeah, I love it, but it's only on here. I think I'm the only person that put that on there. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that either.
I actually have the For You book because it was also on sale when I got the other one. I was saying I got that blue Sylvia Woods book for like $5. That one was also like another $5, which can't pass that up. Yeah. So I've tried it. I don't mind it.
Should we go ahead here to greatest challenges you face while playing the harp?
I think I'm just scrolling through on my own here, and really time to practice and cost.
Yeah.
And finding a teacher. Anyone who's listening still, definitely look online. A lot of people will teach on Zoom. And a lot of them will do a half-hour lesson rather than a full hour. If you're interested in that, it can be a little more cost effective. Just general advice out there.
Yeah, time to practice is my biggest challenge as someone who works full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely for me too.
Same.
And not only like kind of in the same vein as just like energy to practice, like that combination of the two.
But I want to send a little bit of love to everybody who's got physical issues that has written down, like they have arthritis, they have like posture issues, elbows hitting the walls, that counts, the toll on the body, like,
oh goodness,
yeah, I just want to send a little love because I was in a bike accident that kept me from practicing for a long time, and it just hurts emotionally to not be able to play. So
I remember it was when I was nearing the end of college. It was a big deal to my harp teacher, who was a professional harpist but a little bit older, that she really wanted to get a carbon fiber harp, because of how much lighter it is. So I can imagine there's a lot of aging, passionate harpists that move more in that direction. It's a good modification.
Yeah.
Now, of course, that's like gross motor skills, but yeah, for tendonitis and arthritis, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I hate tuning it. Oh.
Yeah. Oh no.
Real life.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sorry to say that part doesn't get better.
Yeah, it's always a pain.
I did a bridal fair yesterday to like sell myself. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't put the most effort into tuning exactly because it's so loud in there, Like I tuned, of course, but it wasn't like I didn't worry too much just because it is so loud. So
Yeah,
I
someone
got
would
a
be thinking
little bit
like,
away with it. Hmm?
her middle A string was 30 cents sharp. I'm not gonna hire her.
Can't hire her.
I think most people haven't even seen one before that go to those. So
Yeah.
yeah. We can cut this, but I had one couple kind of walk by and I kind of stopped playing and I said, "Do you have any questions?" Because they were like watching. And they said, "No, like we didn't even think about live music as an option at all." It's like,
Oh,
well,
wow.
feel free to take a card. Most people just think
You can
DJ
think about it
and that's
now?
that.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
interesting.
Mhm.
What are your favorite pieces to play on the harp?
I keep seeing these Scandi answers in the like weaving in and out through people's responses, and that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a surprising amount. It's cool. There's the poor person about the favorites. I'm so sorry to that person.
You've really put them through the ringer, Phrygian.
I know. They really had to like do some deep breathing after answering all these.
Oh, someone who likes improvising. I love that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
cool.
skill that like I feel like not a ton of people really try to cultivate, and it's a super important skill.
Sight reading too. Oof. I put them in my head in very similar categories for sure.
Yeah.
I know, despite them being polar opposites, they're definitely sort of in the same category of overlooked skills.
Oh man, 3 video games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and a little 7 or 7 going on 8-year-old who makes up her own things on the harp. I love that.
That's sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Wow.
Got
Yeah, good parents right there, putting your kid in harp lessons.
Yeah.
And hey, I
cool,
can only speak for me. That's how I started. I was 17, 16. My first couple lessons, the teacher I had at the time just kind of let me mess around with the pedals and see what sounded nice,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
If I see a little kid, if I'm out playing somewhere, I'll always like let them come out and do like a little gliss on my harp, because I have a very, very vivid memory of doing that myself with a harp player in a restaurant when I was like really little. Yeah. And I did it at an outdoor folk dance, and this kid like was sort of shy, and I was like, "Yeah, come here." And she like runs up and she does a gliss and gets really excited and like starts giggling and turns around to run back to her parents and immediately face plants on the grass.
Oh no.
As
That kid is probably going to remember that. Just like
watching them fall is one of the small delights. As
oh
long as they're not getting hurt. As long as they're not hurt.
I know. I love watching children fall down. and you don't have to cut that. You can leave that in.
I'm gonna make that the cold open. I'll just put it right in the beginning. That's the first thing
do it.
Welcome to the survey. We like watching. No. Yeah. I had a couple kids at the fair yesterday kind of like eyeing me, and I did a similar thing. So
yeah, this is the most the question I'm most concerned about.
The hottest topic.
Yeah. Lots of mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip is delicious, and I say that as someone who didn't put mint chocolate chip.
Because you were Black Sesame, right?
I was the Black Sesame, and it definitely, like I said, like I told you guys when you were like, who was that? It definitely could have been weirder, because when I lived in Scandinavia, a lot of people liked to get chocolate with licorice, and it's fine, but that's definitely an acquired taste.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I don't like licorice.
Oh, I love licorice.
Ah, nice. I have to give a shout out for this person that's not an ice cream fan, but they get whipped cream and hot fudge, because whipped cream and hot fudge sounds really good. Like that must just be delicious.
Yeah, lots of mint. Good. I'm with you guys.
Right below the person who gets whipped cream and hot fudge is the one the lactose intolerant person.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of
Yeah, I
good
feel bad.
dairy-free stuff out there now. Goat cheese.
Italian ice. I wonder if someone
Hmm.
is from like Philly or something.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
that could be. We say water ice.
Water ice. I
Okay.
remember. Yeah, I went to
Mhm.
college outside of Philadelphia.
Oh,
Chocolate and berries. I don't know where you guys are at. Yeah.
that sounds good.
I approve of
It makes
everybody's
me
ice cream choices.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Nothing bad here.
Every choice is
There's a
good.
place that does unique flavors in our area, a couple. And
Mhm.
they actually had one like Thai tea.
Ooh,
Have you
that must be
ever
good.
had Thai tea?
I love Thai
Yes,
tea.
yeah, that sounds so
Okay.
I'm
good.
I'm
passionate
not
about
a
Thai tea.
tea fan normally, but like Thai tea is the exception, and the ice cream was like spot on. It was so
Oh
good.
my gosh.
Yeah.
There's one of those like fancy, there's several of those fancy places in the area where I am, but one day I
Yeah.
went with my friend, a couple of my friends, and one of them who I will say is not an adventurous eater. He's not an adventurous eater. I once tried to feed him mochi and he said, "What's in it?" And I said, "Oh, it's rice and bean paste." He goes, "Oh, rice and beans, like a burrito." I was like, "No, not like a burrito at all." So we go to this ice cream place and they have like, caramelized pine nut ice cream and Earl Grey tea ice cream and rose and strawberry ice cream. And he looks at the woman behind the counter and he goes, "Do you guys have vanilla?" and she looks back at him and she goes, "We have vanilla bean." And I think he thought it was vanilla and bean because he immediately goes, "Bean? Bean?" And my friends and I still give him
pedantic.
Yeah, no, my friends and I still give him shit over that. We'll just be like, "Bean? Bean?"
That's a great story.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness.
Okay, let's go to our suggestion box for the last little bit of this.
Yes.
Yeah. I really like this one about Morph for Chain 44. I can't imagine
Oh, I wonder
who
who-
put that. I imagine
Yeah.
that, like,
That's a mystery.
A lot of people probably put that. But...
Information on information on events is interesting because I think that's sort of up to folks in the local community who know what's going on to post it. I can't see how we would know what's going on across the world. So if you have a local harp event in your area, post it in the
Yeah,
subreddit.
definitely promote it.
Good point.
It can be a spontaneous meetup kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like thinking back to the first question of where you're located. We're like so spread out, and even like just the United States by itself is so many different places. But yeah, absolutely promote your stuff. Well, like share events, I should say, promote events.
Yes.
A
A historical harp AMA sounds interesting too. I would participate in that as
If that
someone who's
person
asking
wants
questions.
if that person
Message
wants
us.
to message and like let us know their qualifications, I'm certainly interested.
Yeah, absolutely. Please reach out.
Yeah.
That would be very cool.
Arranger for hire. That's kind of where I feel like it's similar to our teacher thoughts, where we can't guarantee that our list is like 100%. I mean, arranging is different though.
I would also say that I think maybe a lot of people looking for arrangements, this is me totally guessing, but I feel like a lot of people looking for arrangements are beginners, and I would say like try arranging it yourself. You can Google chords for a lot of stuff online and just try it because you might be surprised. It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You can be like
and
forgiving to
there's a
yourself.
lot of go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I was just gonna say like it's not gonna immediately be like Sylvia Woods. Like you can be forgiving to yourself and develop the skill of arranging over time.
Yeah, there was one I couldn't find online and I was scavenging. There's actually a lot of Facebook groups where you can hire an arranger. I don't know who charges what or anything, but I had some very friendly people reach out and offer when I was like trying to find some obscure song that the bride wanted. So, yeah, definitely check Facebook too if you have it.
I like this. Maybe my prices would be too expensive for people in the US. I can say as someone that lives in the US that I don't have much money.
Yeah,
So
same.
possibly, but Yeah.
I think I know who wrote. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I love this person's feed. I think I know who wrote this too, and I want to
Mhm.
reach out to her. But
Yeah.
I love this person's like thoughts about the harp ensemble video.
Mhm.
Of doing something like just Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
I like that
people could
idea.
just do as simple as possible. The only thing is I don't know how a video like that could exist without a metronome.
Well, we do a metronome. We
Yeah,
just pick
yeah,
a slow. We pick a slow beat, and yeah, I think it's an option. I like that idea,
yeah,
especially
definitely.
like.
But there's even I know like from like my teaching piano lesson days that I had one student that was a great pianist but just could not play with a metronome. Like I think there's a lot of people that just cannot.
You've seen the
Um,
video of the cats reacting to the metronome, right? Where they're like jumping back. Some people are
no,
very
I
much
haven't
like
seen
that.
that.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, but what was I gonna say? I mean, if it's slow enough though, and it's twinkle, twinkle, apologies for my
Yeah,
singing voice. I think it's an option. We can look into that for sure.
definitely.
So yeah, a lot of new collaborations.
I see. Okay, the post about the non-US centric thing is I would definitely love to have more Europeans participate, but as we can see from the graph that we had, it is mostly US users. So I think that's sort of a problem that compounds upon itself. You know, there's never going to be more posts about European stuff until there are more European users.
Yeah, definitely. Or the European users that are there, like posting about more European
Yeah,
stuff. But
if you're a European user, we want to hear about your harp events. Like I know that there's like harp festivals in Ireland and Scotland. If you go, post pictures.
Thank you to all the people that say they love the subreddit and everything. That's very nice. It is such a nice community.
Can't, what challenges are you facing? Yes, cost. It is more expensive than other instruments, but there are cheaper options. Have you guys heard of the harp harp dash E? That's all they're getting now.
No.
It ships in from Europe. It's a self-assembled kit, electric.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah. Okay,
Fully
I know what
You
you're
levered.
talking
posted
about.
about that not long ago.
Yeah, fully levered for about $800, which is pretty astonishing. Everyone's complaining that the wood you have to sand down yourself, but I haven't heard anything about like how the harp actually is. So I don't know, worth thinking about. Certainly a potentially worthy alternative to a harpsichord, which I have strong feelings about. I love the person who says ADHD. I feel you. I'm spiritually connecting to you right now. But I know you're distracted, so it's okay that you don't feel me connected to you. I'm surprised they know such a variety of harp music. As a non-harpist, this is excellent. So does anyone know what, and I'm probably butchering it, the Jalisco means?
Jalisco. So Jalisco, yeah, Jalisco is a state in Mexico. So a lot of the Jalisco harp is mariachi music, right? And harp, there's not really a solo harp tradition of Jalisco harp, but there is in California, there's a guy named William Faulkner who is sort of an adopted son of Jalisco who has arranged a lot of music for solo harp. And it's really cool as a solo tradition too. I mean, a solo repertoire too. But for the most part, Jalisco harp is mariachi.
You're making me feel better, Overlord, because I mispronounced it Jalisco as well.
Well, I mean,
oh my goodness, you guys.
No, my best guess was that it was like Hispanic word in origin, but also Irish people spell things, well, the Irish language spells things very strange relative to English, so could have gone either way. Okay, keyboard pretty standard, guitar, bowed instruments. Nice to see we've got some zither people hanging out with us. Favorite arrangers. Debussy's great.
Did Debussy write for harp specifically?
Yes,
Debussy
Dances was originally written for and this is something I learned at camp, but I have yet to find a verification on Google, so it may not be true. Harp camp, not just like a church camp or something. That the reason Debussy Dances is so terribly difficult is because it was originally written for the chromatic harp, because in that period, when you auditioned for the Royal French Conservatory, you had to audition on both the chromatic harp and a double or single action pedal harp, because that had not yet been like as well established. But lots of Debussy, like pieces we think of Debussy for harp, are arrangements in part because in order to kind of just bring harp, double action pedal harp, once that was established and, kind of because there was like single action, then there's double action, then there was a period where there was like a damper pedal on it. Once, we've sort of settled on the double action pedal harp, which Renier was the one who's kind of like, okay, this is going to be the standard harp for Western elite music. Part of how they justified the use of harp as a solo instrument versus just extra percussion or even just like the thing that goes out of tune was by doing arrangements of traditional piano pieces of that era to say like, hey, harp can do just as well as piano. So that's why we have all of these famous Debussy pieces arranged for harp, even though it's like they're contemporaries of each other. Fun facts. I love to see all these names that I have no idea who they are. I kind of want to start a thread get word from the Celtic people and the Central South American people for who their favorite arrangers are to get a better
That'd be neat. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Just to
be honest,
like,
there's very few. Yeah, there's very few for South American music that actually put things down as sheet music. There's very few.
Yeah, that's part of, and it's not nearly as bad for like Scottish and Irish music, but there's still very much an oral tradition there. Interesting someone put Bear. I mean, I've played an Bear piece, but Andres is great, of course.
A lot of Alphonse Hassemans.
Yes, also awesome. I don't think I've played a Hasseman piece. Ali Robertson, well-known Irish harpist.
Ali Robertson is Scottish.
Scottish. Dang it.
Crap. You're making me feel better again because I misidentified Rachel Hare as well.
Yeah, no, of course she's Scottish. Who's the Irish harpist I was thinking of? Ugh, it's gonna bug me.
Maybe Grania Hambly.
Yes, I think that's the one. I've been trying to Google around and find the difference between Irish and Scottish harp music, but I can't find any. Like, I know there has to be a difference because they were developed separately.
Yes, there is a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say trying to find someone's like doctoral thesis on it, basically.
Yeah, and I definitely can't go to that level, but I will say that there's a lot of difference in ornaments and how you ornament. And then there's a lot of difference in terms of type of tunes that are played. So like, Scottish music has strathspeys. There's also, at the moment, there's more wire harp in the Scottish harp world than there is
in that's very true.
The Irish harp world. So there's some differences.
Yeah. If you haven't heard Amy Turks Africa by Toto, it's absolutely phenomenal.
We were gushing about her earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. No, She also has I just watched her the Bach Toccata, which is
God, yeah.
yeah.
You want to feel like useless? That's the way to do it.
Oh my gosh. Such 'tis the season too. Norwegian wood. Cola's great. That's a great one. Revolve, Introduction, Allegro, that's a beast of a piece. Whenever I tell like a classical music knowledgeable person that I play the harp, they ask me if I can play that, and I just like scoff laugh. I'm like, no. Silly. And the Moldau again. Zelda sounds great on the harp. I've actually been looking at arranging Super Mario Galaxy music for harp. The one video game I played as a child. It's very cute. I'd also add Saraband and Toccata by, is it Nino Rota? Has anyone heard that piece?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if I've heard that. No.
So Nino Rota, he wrote all the music for the Godfather movies.
Oh,
So he's a big movie score writer, and his wife played the harp, so he wrote a couple pieces for harp. And the Saraband and Toccata is stunning. It's very difficult, but it's very, very pretty. Okay, favorite songbooks. Automates is good. Oh no, yep, of course, that's my entry. I will about what Minnals, the Welsh Harper. Nice. That's Bernard Andres.
Out of any one book, I think that Andre's episode showed up the most.
Yeah.
Favorite exercise books.
Lots of people love the Deborah Frio, but I've had students bring it to me, and I just think it hasn't sparked anything to me. Hasn't sparked any joy. But maybe it's great if you're self-taught. Maybe that's the appeal. Oh, the Bach Grozny etudes are really they're arrangements of violin etudes, and they sound really nice. Yeah.
Really cool.
I don't exercise nearly enough to have one. Ha! Love it. Oh, if I can remember her name. Louise Pratt has a couple of exercise books that I enjoy, especially teaching from. They're nice to have around. Okay, difficulties of playing. Time to practice. I agree. Finding a teacher, that can be hard. But I would seriously just email any teacher in your time zone and ask them if they do online. Lots and lots of people went online during the pandemic and are familiar with it now. So the aging body, I feel that. I have a chronic illness. If I don't treat my shoulders well, then I can't feel my hands, and it causes problems with harp playing.
Oh, I have the same thing, but from a bike accident.
Ah, the worst.
Yeah.
My harp teacher once was in a really severe bike accident, and my mom warned me before the lesson. She's like, your teacher's going to be a little beat up. And I showed up, and she has like gashes on her face and a full-on black eye, and she's still teaching. And I'm like,
wow.
You look tired. I also took lessons from her after she had a baby, and she would breastfeed during lessons. That was great. Yeah, she'd sit in her big wicker chair with her hot chocolate at like 5 a.m. She's great at character.
My first ever teacher actually couldn't play anymore. Not to scare the daylights out of anybody, but she was like cutting vegetables for dinner or something, I don't know, and like basically injured herself and could not bend her knuckles as well anymore and couldn't bite.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna advocate really strongly here for if you get injured, or even if you're having pain and playing, and you have like health insurance, or if you live in a country with universal healthcare, go to a physical therapist because it's the only reason that I'm still like really physical therapy is the answer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I do massage therapy on my shoulders as well, but because I haven't found a physical therapy since I moved. One of the statements was like they were playing in their dorm and it was too loud. One thing I would try is just stuffing the sound box of your harp with like towels. Like that'll dampen things a lot more than you think. So
It could be possible that at your school, like my harp just lived in the music building. So even if you're not a music major, it's possible that they would let you keep it in some sort of
yeah, depends on
space
the
in there.
size of the school and the program.
Yeah.
Though other schools charge you to be able to like enter a music practice studio, even if you
Mm.
are a music major, which I just thought was mean.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you don't have a mobile instrument, they shouldn't charge you. So I don't think the pianists or the harpists or any of the percussionists should have been charged. But yeah, I think the flautist can practice somewhere else. Like, sorry. Okay, favorite pieces to play. Always with Me from Spirited Away. I'll have to put that on my list.
I've wanted to learn the main theme from Spirited Away for a while. I think it would be tricky though.
I had a friend who was a trumpet player, but he played the theme from Spirited Away on the piano as part of a senior recital. It was beautiful. That should be our next, like, Ask Me Anything guest. We should have a Scottish Irish harper to explain the difference. Me and like the 5 other people who are curious.
I bet I wonder if Rachel Hare would do an AMA. She's pretty trendy.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Okay. Andres. What the delightful. Baroque flamenco. I played that for my senior recital. I loved it.
Hmm.
Ooh, concert etude. That's a good one. I think my niece is gonna play that one soon. Boom. Favorite flavors.
The most important question.
Of course. Marionberry. Someone from the
Mm.
Pacific Northwest.
That's a very Oregon answer. Marion Barry.
Yes. Marionberry with filberts, of course. I'm lactose intolerant. We're so sorry. Go to Whole Foods. They have lots of milk replacements. Now I really want ice cream. This is bad. Goat cheese ice cream. You know what? I can actually back that up because in college, when I wanted dessert, I would take French bread and put goat cheese and Nutella in it and then make a panini.
Mm.
And it was
That sounds so good.
it was super good.
I bet. That's like college eating to a T. Weird combinations of stuff when you're
That's like really bougie college eating though.
very true. Yes.
I mean,
Yep.
it's quicker than like, if you want the taste of a cheesecake, but you don't have the budget for a cheesecake or the time for a cheesecake, hey, goat cheese and like maybe a little cream cheese and Nutella. That's all you need. Or I would buy like a dozen cupcakes from the discount section and make cake balls, but they would never end up being in balls. I would just eat them with a spoon. Um, like the healthy person that I am. I love the idea about doing an AMA on historical harps. Please, that person reach out to us. And then we have someone with a very long answer. Bless you. Ranger for Hire database. That's not bad. I'm up for that. Just some shameless self-promotion. I've done that before.
We were wondering though if it's the same slippery slope that like a teacher for hire, like the reason we're avoiding a teacher list.
Right, right.
I think this one's a little less high stakes though.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot easier to tell if like they're not giving you what you want. You know,
True.
like a commission art piece. You know, you can tell if
Yeah.
you like the painting. You can't tell if someone's teaching you painting correctly if you don't know how to paint. I mean, I think maybe like once a year we should do if you're available for hire, you know, tell us like roughly the area so people can message you, or if you're available for teaching, just so that people have something to search to and it's less us centralized and us picking people and more like starting the conversation.
It's an option.
Yeah. They already love us. It's vibey. We are vibey. Even though I can't resist answering everybody's question whenever anyone answers a question.
I'm sorry to this person that Grace is not a moderator anymore, but it's a nice thought.
I worked with Grace for a while. She stepped down just because life got busy, but yeah, I think I know who wrote that too. So
I do love the idea of practice buddies. I think that would be a lot of fun.
oh yeah.
Something like that could be super cool.
I think if we started it and we didn't, I wouldn't want to make it like we're checking in with people or anything. It'd be up to them, but it's not a bad idea.
I think of it more like a pen pal situation. Like,
Right.
you write down what your skill level is, what you're looking for, and then we like pair you up and let you go.
Yeah. Or they find pairs themselves too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
I want to address this person. That
if you guys knew how many useless posts we blocked to keep your feed nice and clean and entertaining, you would be shocked. We are keeping you from seeing a billion of the same beginner posts every week. Or tons of stuff about zithers and liars. Not exactly relevant. They can go to their own subreddit. So yeah, we are the janitors of the internet, and sometimes we have to throw away things. Sometimes we have to throw away your dinner, even though you didn't finish it because you left it out.
Smaller subreddits too, like, need to be more calculating about what posts they allow and what topics they allow. Because there's less like upvote and downvote, like kind of community moderation.
And especially when it's something tangible or like a physical hobby, you know, lots of stuff we do to ensure that people are protecting each other's privacy, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, at the very beginning, basically said like, in light of the anti-work debacle from a few months ago, remember he went on like Fox News, the guy or the one mod, and it was just like a hot mess. We were saying we're avoiding that. None of us here are like the harp representatives of the world or anything like that. You know, we're not trying to say our word is the N word, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, we will not be doing any cable news, though. Admittedly, if the harp column's like, "Hey, this is a cool harp community," then I'd answer questions.
Oh, the other thing that we did at the beginning that maybe you want to just do is just a quick intro of yourself.
Oh, okay. I was about to say my name, which you guys don't get to know. I'm American, if you couldn't tell from the everything about me. I played the harp for 17 years. I currently live in a big city trying to get established doing gigs here. I teach a lot, and I also do a fair amount of harp restoring and fixing up. I'm by no means an expert, but
you're our expert though.
That buzz. I can't do pedal harps because I'm terrified of trying to fix pedal harps, but I've fixed some pretty big lever harp damages. So yeah, feel free to message me if you have any harp questions. So
All right.
Well, awesome. Thank you all so much. This was so much fun.
thank you
Yeah,
guys.
got to
Mhm.
finally actually talk.
Mhm.
Just as
we
like a
could-
final goodbye, like thank you for anyone that tuned in to watch it. It's probably going to end up being 6 hours long.
And we know that a lot of you don't care about the mods, and if you don't care and you don't want to watch this video,